Eala begins Aussie Open preparation with Macau Tennis Masters stint. Manila, Philippines. Alex Eala primes up for her anticipated Australian Open campaign early next year with an exhibition stint in 3 events at the MGM Macau Tennis Masters this weekend. The 20-year-old Filipina gets a chance to duke it out against the sport's legends and fellow rising stars as she vies in the Captain's Challenge, mixed doubles and women's singles for the 2-day showcase starting at 2 p.m. Saturday. Eala, WTA number 53, teams up with British star Jack Draper, ATP number 10, and Chinese Jerry Shang, ATP number 253, for Team Lina of China against the squad assembled by Spanish legend Conchita Martinez. Starring for Team Martinez are ATP number 14 Alejandro Davidovich Fokina of Spain, ATP number 19 Jakub Mensik of Czechia and WTA number 9 Mira Andreeva of Russia. A very merry practice, Eala posted on her social media account with a photo of her teammates and Andreeva. Eala later in the day will also figure in the mixed doubles with Shang against the 18-year-old Andreeva and ATP number 182 Yibing Wu, also from China. Then it's Eala versus Andreeva in the women's singles on Sunday for their first duel in 3 years. Eala swept Andreeva 6-4, 6-0 in the quarterfinals of the 2022 U.S. Open that she ultimately ruled to become the first Filipina junior Grand Slam champion. They also teamed up for a second-round finish in the doubles of the same event. The Macau Masters serves as Eala's final event in a stellar season marked by her first WTA Tour title, qualification to all Grand Slams, and then rise to the world's top 50 ahead of the Australian Open from January 12 to February 1 in Melbourne, and possibly the WTA Philippine Women's Open from January 26 to 31 for her first home tournament ever in Manila. She is fresh off a 1 gold 2 bronze run in the Southeast Asian Games last week in Nonthaburi, Thailand. Eala netted bronze medals in the women's team event with Steffi Aludo, Alexa Milliam, Teniel Mides and Shara Rivera as well as in the mixed doubles with Nino Alcantara. She then saved her best for last, cruising to a 6-2, 6-1 romp of home bet Manakaya Sawanki in the women's singles finals to become the first Filipina Hiji champion since Maricris Fernandez in 1999. Eala begins Aussie Open preparation with Macau Tennis Masters stint. The season never truly sleeps for those who chase excellence. For Alex Eala, the calendar turns not with rest, but with purpose. As the tennis world tilts its gaze toward Melbourne and the promise of the Australian Open, Eala's journey begins far from the blue courts of Rod Laver Arena. It starts in Macau, under warm skies, amid a blend of competition, learning and quiet resolve, at the Macau Tennis Masters. Macau is not Melbourne. It does not roar with Grand Slam crowds or shimmer under the weight of history. Yet, for Eala, it offers something equally valuable: rhythm. The chance to sharpen instincts, test endurance, and reconnect with the subtle details that define elite tennis. The Macau Tennis Masters is not merely a stopover. It is a workshop, a proving ground where preparation becomes intention. A season restarted, not reset. For many players, the off-season is a pause. For Eala, it is a recalibration. Every serve struck in Macau carries echoes of the season ahead. Every rally becomes a conversation with the future, one that asks how much stronger, faster, and smarter she is willing to become. Eala arrives with a maturity that belies her age. Years spent competing internationally have shaped her into a player who understands that progress is rarely linear. Wins teach confidence, losses teach clarity. The Macau stint offers both, wrapped in competitive matches that simulate the pressure and tempo she will soon face on one of tennis' biggest stages. Here, preparation is not about perfection. It is about process. The craft beneath the spotlight. What separates elite players from the rest is not only their ability to hit winners, but their willingness to obsess over the unseen. In Macau, Eala's days are layered with repetition, footwork drills that test balance, baseline exchanges that demand patience, serves practiced long after the sun dips below the horizon. The Australian Open demands physical durability and mental elasticity. The heat, the crowds, the unforgiving pace of best-of-3 or best-of-5 battles, everything is amplified. Macau becomes a controlled environment where Eala can simulate intensity without being consumed by it. Between matches, there is reflection. Between points, discipline. The game slows down here, allowing her to examine what needs refining: shot selection under pressure, recovery between rallies, composure when momentum swings. Carrying more than a racket. Eala does not travel alone. She carries expectation, not as burden, but as responsibility. As one of the Philippines' brightest tennis talents, each appearance is stitched with national pride. Every tournament, whether a Grand Slam or an Invitational Masters event, is another chapter in a story still being written. In Macau, that story feels intimate. Fans recognize her not just as a competitor, but as a symbol of possibility. Young players watch from the stands or through screens, seeing in her movement proof that global tennis is no longer limited by geography. Eala understands this, yet she remains grounded. Preparation, she knows, must be personal before it can be inspirational. Lessons between matches. The Macau Tennis Masters offers a rare blend of competition and camaraderie. It is a space where rising stars and seasoned professionals intersect, where matches are intense but conversations are generous. For Eala, this environment is fertile ground for growth. Every opponent presents a different puzzle, varied spins, tempos, and tactics. These encounters are invaluable rehearsals for Melbourne, where adaptability often decides survival. The Australian Open rewards players who can solve problems in real time, who can shift strategy mid-match without panic. Macau teaches that skill. Eyes on Melbourne, feet in the present. It would be easy to look past Macau, to see it merely as a stepping stone to the Australian Open. But Eala resists that temptation. She plays each point as if it matters, because it does. Preparation is not something you rush through, it is something you inhabit. The courts in Macau become a mirror. They reflect what has improved and what remains unfinished. They demand honesty. And Eala responds with focus, understanding that the road to Melbourne is built rally by rally, match by match. The quiet confidence of readiness. As the Macau Tennis Masters unfolds, something subtle takes shape. Confidence, not the loud kind fueled by headlines, but the steady kind born from work done in silence. Eala's movements grow sharper. Her decisions become cleaner. The noise fades. By the time she packs her bags for the next leg of her journey, Macau will have given her more than match play. It will have given her momentum. A beginning, not a destination. The Australian Open looms large, but Eala's story is not defined by a single tournament. It is defined by her willingness to prepare with intention, to compete with courage, and to grow with humility. Macau is where that intention is renewed. When she eventually steps onto the courts in Australia, the crowd will see a player ready to fight. What they may not see are the quiet mornings in Macau, the long rallies under humid skies, the moments of adjustment and acceptance that shaped her readiness. But Eala will know. And sometimes that is enough.